was actually able to start the stream without everything going to hell right away. All 3 services are streaming actually right away. Zelgrith, hello. Yes, it's so new. It's exactly like the old one with a different song. I honestly can't even remember what song it is. Ah, yeah. That's a good one. Deacon! How you doing, man? Look at all the YouTube peeps right away. That makes me happy. Sometimes I worry that there aren't like many YouTube people swinging by on their streams, but it seems like today we've got a full YouTube crowd, which makes me pleased. Hey, Victor. We're just starting up here, taking some initial swigs of my high calf tea, which is like, this is the one time a week that I drink it. Hey, Bocadillo. Let's just switch it over. Sweet. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 2-hour track challenge. Watching Twitch instead of YouTube if I could. Well, Zelgrith, I totally get that. Like, and I've debated this to death already. Like, the two, like, multi-streaming works for me for a lot of different reasons. And I like YouTube. I think YouTube's a great platform to stream on. I also think Twitch is a good platform to stream on, so it's kind of a mixed bag. So we've got a few minutes left. Get some more people to filter in. So my thoughts today are to create something a little bit more chill, and I say that, I think I've said that like every week for the past month and a half now. But I need it today. I have not been sleeping well the past couple nights. I've had like insomnia or something. It sucks. So we'll see how that goes. The plan for today's challenge comes somewhat from the Video Game Music Academy sheet. I was looking through these, and there's one called Deep Dive. It says, so many games have a token water level that subjects the player to infuriating one-time game mechanics set to soothing aquatic soundtrack. So I'm thinking about doing something. Hey, Dark, how you doing, man? I'll see you tomorrow. Luke, you are early. Everybody's early today. This is quite the outpouring for the first 5 minutes of stream. Makes me happy. Getting groceries. Yeah, no worries, Zelgrith. Hopefully your grocery shopping goes well. I know mine did today. So the plan today is to make a kind of a watery track, and before stream issues. Yeah, Zelgrith. Thankfully today I didn't have any. It seems like weekends are more problematic than weekdays, but who knows. Pablo Spaghetti. Spaghetti. How you doing, man? So I guess, yeah, it's 4 o'clock. Let's see what we can do. So my thoughts on this were twofold. First, I wanted a slower time signature or a slower tempo and a weird time signature, because that seems to help jumpstart my my thinking process a little bit more. So I'll leave the piano there just in case if anybody follows. But a watery track. That is such a dry joke. You're already thinking about track names, huh? Well, at least somebody is. Pablo, I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I I'm hoping this caffeine kicks in fairly soon, and then we can get to business. Um, that is not what I wanted. Good start. I wanted to try with Massive first, because Massive has the great reverb and the great, the great reverb and some other stuff that I want to try. Um, excuse me. So another thing that I was thinking about, and I can't remember who suggested this last week. On a rare thing, I actually watched last week's 2 Hour Track challenge. I used to watch the challenge every week, because then that helped me learn what I could do better during these challenges. But lately, I've just been kind of letting them ride. But what's caffeine? I honestly don't drink caffeine very often. This tea right here, this is probably the first. Is it? Yeah, this is the first caffeine I've had since last Wednesday, when I had basically this. I I feel like that it helps these streams. um, but I also I used to be like super addicted to caffeine, and it was actually a big problem for me for a little while. Um, but thankfully, I'm kind of over that. Cola is my water. Yeah, man, that's where I was. I know that there isn't any music yet. I'm actually still setting stuff up. Um, I used to be the same way where I just drank pop or cola, depending on where you're from. We call it pop. You want some pep? Up in the northwest or northwest, just the heartland of Minnesota. Um, so yeah, I used to drink it all the time, and I don't anymore. I still like relapse once in a while, but I really try not to. Um, I want to get that. Okay, so this needs to go here too. At about the same. In England, really? Oh, Luke, you cut me deep, man. Hey, Gamerzilla, how you doing, man? It has been a while. Hey, I didn't have water sounds last. VMix. I've always called it soda. Yeah. Did you always grow up in Minnesota, or did you like live somewhere else for a while? Nah, you don't have to apologize. Um, because I know that it's very see, that sounds pretty banging already. It's tea. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's here. Minnesota. You know, we could talk with the more Minnesota accent. You get your sandwich loaf. Do you guys know what sandwich loaf is? It's really gross. It is oh, what is it? It's like a cake, except instead of icing and cake and fluffy cake, you have bologna and mayo. It's disgusting, but some people like it. It's been a good hot dish, a meal around here. I can't keep that up. The only words that I say weird are like bag or beg. That's definitely a Minnesotan thing. Um, I remember visiting some friends in Texas a long time ago, and they were infinitely amused at how I said the word bag. Root? Is that weird too? Bag and root? I have a bag full of roots. Nah. I'm trying to think of some good chords here. So we have... I did? Oh, right, from like the Famitracker videos. Like the root chord. I don't know if I like this in 7/8 time. I kind of like how kind of off-putting it is, but oh, I don't know. I like how it sounds though. It's kind of growing on me. Or low tones, my version of analog, depending on how you look at it. Yeah, I'm kind of planning book root. Oh man, I'm gonna be self-conscious about this now. Zalgrith ruined the stream, everybody. We're done here. Moochie. That's awesome, VMix. And Gamerzilla. Yeah, what have you been listening to? Okay, so I have that. It might be a massive day today. Let's use another massive instance here to get some basic chords. Zelgrith, I honestly book root. I used to say it like root. Oh man, what's wrong with me? Everything's terrible. I'm gonna have to look at those old videos. Like I recorded those Famitracker videos a long time ago. So it's hard for me to kind of even remember what was going on with them. At some point I might... Oh, that's awesome, gamer. Yeah, my dad and I used to bond over music too. He listened to a lot of classical and jazz and kind of like contemporary music. And that's kind of what I grew up on too. Yeah, I'm trying to make some of the Unico Smiling stream looks awesome. I'm trying to do some different things here. Actually, speaking of different things, let's take this and use a grain delay instead of a Oh, hi kitty. And then let's do like a spray. Okay, that's a little too much of a spray. There we go. It's from my brother playing guitar. Oh, that's awesome. I'm jealous of people who can play guitar. I think that is an amazing skill. I need to get back into kind of learning how to do it. I mean, obviously, I have all those guitars. I should at least know how to play one of them. Okay, so this grain delay is disappointing me. I think we're getting somewhere with this, though. I mean, obviously, like is tradition, a lot of this is going to be kind of planning for the first 40 minutes of it, and then it's just going to kind of get there. Whoa. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, right. Yeah, I went the wrong way. Because I wasn't paying attention. There's also a cat, like, trying to sit on my arm, which doesn't help. Kitty. I know, you like sitting on the arm of my chair, but I use that for my arms. That's not your microphone. Yeah. This feels a little too muffled. Meow. Okay. I like this because it kind of it kind of feels like waves. They can kind of oscillate in and out. I'm not going to use wave samples. You ruined it for everybody. No wave samples in this one. Oh, man. I'm trying to think. Hey, M9. I don't know why I can never say it right. Kind of sounds like all Ben Burns music. Yeah, I mean, people say I have a style, so I just got to kind of live with that. I'd like to think people think that that's a good thing, but I'll leave that up to them, really. I can't say one way or the other. The bass needs more presence, but I really like that. Let's try a multi-band dynamics to bring up the low and the mids a little bit more. Yeah, don't need that. There we go. Still kind of just messing with stuff. Obviously, if anybody has suggestions or thoughts, lay it on me. That's better. A little more dynamic. Flashbacks to what, Luke? I mean, the other problem is when you write, when you do 100 of these 2-hour track challenges, yeah, some of them are going to sound the same. That's okay. You probably have. Again, like, the only person that hasn't written anything. know about that. I kind of really like what this sounds like right now, though. Written something. Yeah. Okay. So let's pull in a drum rack here, and I'm trying to think of what we could use for drums here. Vaporwave. Yeah. Is this going to be another Benwave song? What did we use? I know I'd used. Oh, I used Benwave for the speed ambient track that we made. Benwave. Oh, that was so dumb. That was a fun track. I liked that one a lot. Let's see. Salamander drum kit. No, I think we kind of want something a little bit more. I'm looking through what we have for audio here. My correction has a mistake in it. Eh. Just looking through random audio right now. Yeah, Deacon. That's kind of what I was thinking. Something super minimal with like a strong kick, and then the rest is just kind of these little ambient bips and boops that kind of float around, which would make sense for a water track. So I'm thinking like a drum machine kick, like a strong 808 kick or something, but then everything else is just kind of like... I think that's in tune. Sorry, my there it is. Okay, it was off. My headphones aren't always the best for that super low stuff, which is why I don't have a ton of bass in my songs, which is... At some point I need to invest in better headphones. These are Sennheiser, what's the model number? 280 Pro, HD 280 Pro. They are about $100, so they're not super high quality. They are very, very nice headphones. I've worn them for a very long time. Take care, Luke. Thanks for swinging by. But yeah, so I've used these for a very long time. And I like them a lot, but I feel like their frequency response is diminishing. Oh, back in a second or so. Okay. Well, have fun wherever you're going. I feel like the highs are getting a little muted, and it's never really had a super strong low end when it comes to like really bassy stuff. So thank you, Alex. I'm glad you like them. I put this on the wrong channel, that's why it's not echoing. So we're starting to build some layers of percussion here. Again, I want them to be very minimal. I want to stress again that last stream, somebody correctly said that my songs are very dense, and I want something to be a little bit more floaty and open. This one, Dark. I don't think you have asked me that on genre that you have limited experience with. Well, I've kind of done that in the past, but not really. There was one very, very early on where I had to make a pirate jig, and that one turned out interesting because I kind of lost interest halfway through and I turned it into this weird rock thing. And then there was another one where I had to do something in like the medieval theme or style, which was a lot of fun. That one is called The Enchanted Tower, and I suggest you look that one up. That one turned out really good. Zelgrith, it's called Keelhauled. It's like a minute and a half long. It's not very good. Is this time for a melodica? I kind of feel like this is time for a melodica. You're okay, kitty. You don't have to leave. Even like one or two notes. I think that Dark, you give me a suggestion and I'll try. If the second bass line... What's your thought on the second bass line? Zell, oh jeez, Zell, it might not. I wanted to try it though. Honestly, I'm not using it as much as a melodic instrument in this case. I kind of want to just use it as like a tonal. Hey, wait, if the second bass line... What were you gonna say? Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I'm doing. This is my problem. I'm like, oh, let's add some more layers. There's more room to fill in this song. And I don't want to overburden the song. So I'm just gonna mess around and just add random things until let's see, browser. Same as the first and resolved to a C sharp major. So it would go from it was the same as the first and resolved to a C sharp major. But then you'd have like this weird I mean, you mean like this? Actually, that sounds really cool. I saw where you were getting at eventually. That actually adds a lot of dynamism to it. So with this bass, it's very, very static as far as volume is concerned. So I'm actually going to put a bit of a phase on it. Try to hip hop track. Breakbeat stuff. Dude, I would love to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Like some more lo-fi hip hop stuff. Although if you haven't, I suggest checking out the Creationism album. Let me show you. So the Creationism album is something I made a while ago, earlier this year, and this actually has some sweet kind of hip-hop stuff on it. So it's kind of within the wheelhouse of what you're talking about, but I'd love to explore that some more, especially on the 2-hour track challenge, because this stuff is so out there usually. Yeah. I don't know why I used absinthe for a simple sine wave, but whatever. Let's turn this into like a plucked. That's a piano. Oh. There we go. Whoa. I'm working to make these attacks much shorter. Yeah, okay. So again, it's another layer, but it's another layer in the background, so it's less prevalent. So what do you think we could do to kind of like create a lead or something like that? I mean, I have this piano here. We could easily just take this and try to... very quiet. The only thing I don't like about this giant is that it's always very quiet. Piano doesn't work. Excuse me. And the thing is, if we're going for kind of an ambience, we don't need, I'm talking to myself right now, we don't need like some big sweeping thing. We just need to deal with what we have and express it well. And that's not always something that I do terribly well. So maybe we need to just take what we have here, our limited resources, and expand this out into something a little bit more interesting. So let's do that. Okay. Take care, Zell. Have a good shopping spree. Come on. There we go. Yeah, okay, so let's roll with this. And then we need like a snare or something to help kind of tie all this together rhythmically, because right now it's very ambiguous, which I kind of like, but I think it really does need a little bit more. A little bit more. I'll just go like this for now. Okay. We're going to go with an acoustic snare here because I think that it'll fit better, but we're also going to process it so it's not as acoustic. If you know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying. So don't worry about it too much. And then some reverb. Bass is just too loud, I think. Okay. That's better. Okay, so we've got kind of this intro here that leads up to everything, and I'm wondering what exactly we can do here to make things a little bit more interesting. One thing we can do, and one thing that I don't do a whole lot because I'm lame and dumb, is we can make some more interesting chord progressions here. So we have... What would be another one we can go to from there would be... G major, huh? Nah, that's too happy. This is supposed to be... That's very... This is much more dreamlike. G minor 7 with like over D. I'm just gonna... I just wanted to get those down so I didn't forget, because one of my biggest problems is that I like, oh, that's the perfect chord progression, and then I forget what it is. And then I'm sad. Okay, so... Okay, I just want to make sure that I had that right before I continued onward. That definitely lends an air of, like, danger to it, and I really like that. Distortion going on there. Okay, and then this right here is actually getting super annoying, so I'm gonna cut that back quite a bit. Aqua Dungeons. Hey, that's the plan. I'm glad it's turning out somewhat according to the crazy fever visions I've had. And I can actually go like this. Let's make another layer of percussion here. Something that's a little bit more active, but it's not going to like get too much in the way. I feel that it'll be important to create a little bit more movement. Excuse me, what am I looking for here? Okay, I did fix that. Especially because I want to put like a strong echo on this, so it's like So I like the one thing that I want to try to do with this is I want to have like with the percussion have like one section of busy percussion and then one measure of empty percussion and then back and forth and back and forth. I think that's kind of cool, and it lends an air of space in between each section, and I think that's something I don't do terribly often, but something I should do all the time. So. I actually really like that kick. I don't know if I'll use it, but I'm going to bring it in. And then with this kick, I just kind of want the initial hit. So I'll fade it out like right here. So it's just the... Well, that's the loud one. Oops. That's not where I wanted those. I wanted some offbeat stuff. Hey Luke, I'm guessing it's you. Okay. One thing I need to do is I need to create. I'm just so smart, just so smart. You don't even know. Oops. I need to create a little whoosh in here. As is tradition, I'll just do my normal whoosh. No fancy names for the song yet? No. I'm sure something will show up sooner or later. I really like this percussive vamp we have going. Is that a vamp? Hey, music theory nerds, is that a vamp? I thought a vamp might be more a melodic thing, like it's like a little melodic thing you play. Maybe that's what a vamp is. Abstract repetition. That's not too bad. Well, that's the slang for vampire. Okay. Okay, I had it wrong. Thanks, Dark. Although, maybe we should start thinking of like a melody, even if it's simple. I mean, even something like that. Because that would definitely fit with the percussive. The percussive. I'll do a bad Sean Connery for the rest of this. For the percussive part of the track. And then let's do a like a vibraphone or something super watery. Vamp in between solos. Gotcha. Yeah, another thing that I thought a vamp was is like going between two chords without really playing a lot of melodic stuff, just kind of vamping between the two. Music theory is such a weird ball of wax for me. Like I don't always understand what's going on. Because part of the problem with music theory is that there's 5 terms for the same thing, and they're all slightly different. That actually worked out way better than I thought it was going to. Okay. So this would go here. This would be like on the second loop. So if we're doing this like that. Then, oh, I could get some crazy voice sounds. Hello, Benwave. Yeah, let's do some more Benwave after this. How about that? Let's try that again with some actual finesse. It's a little loud. So now let's all right, this is still going. Hello, everybody. Anyway. Yeah, it's like I wish I could write a bunch of cool lyrics or something to go with this, because this would actually be a cool song to like have some actual lyrics and stuff to go with. But lyricism and songwriting are really not my strong points. Not yet, anyway. That's definitely something I want to keep working on. I guess I should qualify it being that, like, yeah, no, I can't do it well now, but someday I will. You should always have your sentences say, well, I can't do this yet. I will someday. Okay, so let's switch things around a little bit and change some instruments around, because that's another thing that I don't do often enough is change instruments around. And I guess that's one of the benefits of writing a simpler song where I'm not worried as much about like making things as dense as possible. I can actually work on creating stuff that's a little bit more focused on like sound design and kind of putting things together. And maybe that's not as exciting to watch, but it's good knowledge for myself. And as much as I love all you guys, I still got to work on me. Oops. This might sound really bad and dumb. That's actually all right. Yeah, Moochie. And I've taken like classes. I've taken like a Coursera class, the Coursera class from Pat Pattison, which was phenomenal. And I actually learned a lot. And I wrote a song that I was pretty pleased with. I am just honestly, I'm just kind of scared of the whole process. I know that like the only way to get better is just to make a bunch of really bad songs, and I think I just need to do that. What I should do is I should take all of these 2-hour track challenges that I've been doing and just make lyrics for them, just to see, like, just to practice, and not even post them. Maybe just do it. That might not actually be a bad idea. I have sang in other songs. I can't say that I sang well in the Covered in Cats album. I actually have another song that I wrote, Through the Noise, that has me singing not terribly well, but do you hear me up there? Can you hear me through the noise? Do you hear? I actually really like this song. The lyrics I wrote for that, I actually wrote like 20 years ago. And I was finally getting around to like making a song that I felt was appropriate for that, for those lyrics. Try to sync to link to one of your other vids. Yeah, at the time when I wrote that, I was listening to a lot of She Wants Revenge, so I think there was a lot of influence that came from that. What are you even talking about? Oh. Thanks, Elgrith. I'll have to look at that later, Luke. But I definitely will. So what I'm thinking here is to just kind of reiterate the melody just over here now. I do not have a name for this song yet. Well, Luke, it's not as much that. It's more that I don't necessarily want to get myself too distracted listening and watching to old things. I know I've been bouncing back and forth between other examples. I'm trying to stay on task. You're like 5 seconds. Jesus. Okay, fine. Just a second. $17.28. Natural Season. Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember this one. You saying it sounds like this? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, I mean, copyright strike myself. I have not run into that yet. I've had some other weird copyright strikes on my channel in the past. So one thing I can do with this to make it a little bit more interesting is take these and like do some weird panning with them. Kind of like this. A little too much panning. Yeah, Zelgrith. That was one of my weird copyright strikes where somebody had content ID'd the Ableton metronome. This guy right here. Somehow they had managed to content ID that. I had to fight that one. Some professional DJ copyrighted me. Yeah. Another amusing copyright strike I had was one of the songs that I wrote a long time ago that used only samples of my voice. Like I inputted all of the sounds with this microphone, and then I, manipulated it and stuff. I got a copyright strike on that, which was like, okay, yeah, that was an easy one to fight. Okay, so simple delay I found out is delay the left and right headset. There is the simple delay I found out. yeah, it's called it's filter delay. No, and that's the thing, Zelgrith. It was like a piano song that got content ID'd it. I don't know, but yeah, Luke, the filter delay is what you're talking about. Amazing, I randomly pressed MIDI. Yeah, this one's super powerful because you can delay the left and right speakers both time wise, but you can also delay it on a filter as well. So you can have some really crazy control over this. I like using ping pong delay, just because that's me, and I'm sometimes lazy. Whoops. Let's try that again. Kind of screwed that up. A little bit right here. My voice definitely sounds like a piano. I know, it's super easy to get those mixed up. Is that what this was over here? Yeah, I guess it was. Okay. Zelgrith, have you ever seen the video of the piano doing what? Did I just say that? Like the piano doing the voice thing? Where it's actually like playing the keys in such a way to emulate what a voice sounds like. It's very weird. It's not exactly super convincing, but it's very cool. Like there's subtitles under it. You can definitely tell what the subtitles are saying. Yeah. So I guess the puns are coming out now, aren't they? I was watching a Games Done Quick of Nier Automata. Automata. I can't remember. But apparently it was just the pun zone because that's all people did for like 2 hours. It got to be a little much, but it was still a very Automata. That's what it was. It was still a very interesting. That's what the world's coming to, isn't it? That's not what I wanted. So I'm thinking about switching things up again because we have the time. Take the warning now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with puns, really. It's just sometimes they don't feel well thought out. And a good pun is one of those things that both has to be well thought out and done like in the moment. It can't be like premeditated, which is kind of contradictory, I guess. I really like that, but not for that instrument. Oh, thank you, Luke. I am pleased to say that Color Jumper is almost done. There are... The 100 levels are complete, more or less. Like, there's still work that needs to get done on them. Force every sentence into a pun. Yeah, and then there's the people that try to force it. Luke, I am planning on adding a high contrast. I know you're making bad puns. I know I'm planning on adding a high contrast option to Color Jumper, and there is a colorblind mode already in Color Jumper. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Luke. I'm really pleased with that. I made it hard enough for it to be frustrating for me, so that's... Oh, shut up, Crowdfire. So that's good enough for me. Zelgrith, I do not. I have not done a full playthrough of the game yet. I might do that this weekend. Thank you, Dark. Okay, like the problem with that Nier Automata, whatever, onomatopoeia, it's like a lot of the puns felt forced, and that's where it really started to bother me. It's just like, okay, dude, that was real low hanging fruit, but you went for it anyway. Good job. Zelgrith, there are 11 or 15 bonus levels that I want to do. So that's next on my list, and then I need to make the soundtrack, which is going to be a nightmare because I'm so invested in the project. But other than that, it's pretty much done. I kind of like this without the bass. What if I brought... Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. That would be G... Be G... sharp. Exactly, Dark. Like, I can make soundtracks for other people, no problem, but when it comes to my own stuff, I'm like, oh, but it has to be perfect, even though, you know, it has, like, for a client, it has to be perfect too, so... I just get so wrapped up in the whole process. Actually, F sharp might work. Oh, thanks, Zelgrith. I'm planning on tearing all that out and making new soundtrack because I'm sick of it. But I'll probably stick some of it, keep some of it around because I do like some of it. But yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. I like how that turned out. Okay. Satisfied with. Zelgrith, I've been testing with both. Generally, when I develop, I have my keyboard right in front of me, so I test with the keyboard, and then when I'm actually playing the levels, never seems to end. Luke, that's not a bad idea for a challenge. I think I should put that on my list. Yeah. Excuse me. Cool. Yeah, yeah, and there's that, I can't remember that, like the staircase, they used it in Mario 64, that staircase effect, where you have the notes always going up, but you have... So it always sounds like it always sounds like it's ascending, but it's only going through one scale over and over. I kind of want to do something like that with Color Jumper because some of the later levels, they're going to be played for a very long time, and because they are difficult. So and yeah, like I also plan on layering them. So like when you, because each section is going to have its own soundtrack. Like level 0 through 24 are going to have a soundtrack, 25 through 49, and so far they're going to have its own song. And then they're layered, so I can bring in and bring out layers when I want. It's okay, Luke. Don't worry about it. This is actually really cool sound, and I like this. Yeah, octave spacing. That's what it was. Thank you, Luke. I knew I was missing something of that. Yeah, I really like this. I still don't have a name though, guys. We need a name for this song. All right, the microphone's still on. We need a name for this song. So get on that. That ain't my job. That's your job. Insert underwater creature here. Looking for the... I love this upright bass so much. Drown. That's super dark, Deacon. Diminished sewers. Into the deep. I like Into the Deep just because of how the search for land. There we go. That has like action associated with it, which I like. Inside the void, inside the darkness. Another thing that came to me while I did that, it was like this heartbeat sound. I kind of wanna bring that into the drums. Inside the void. Into the Deep, Inside the Void, The Search for Atlantis. These are all pretty good. Drown, I feel, is a little dark, although it's probably most appropriate for a water level song. Sort of darkness, but it's also chill. You know, I can get that. I can get that. Inside the Void fits that to some degree then. Let's how about I combine Your and Dark's so it's Into the Void. I feel that has a little bit more progression and narrative to it rather than just Inside the Void. I think I'm gonna go with that. As much as I like Drown and The Search for Atlantis and some of the other ones, I like the combination of those two, because Into the Void is just kind of this dark, harrowing, but also kind of calming and empty experience. So let's go with that. To our track challenge, 2017. Oh God, it's August. Thank you for your excellent suggestions as always, everybody. I can finally save this song. Which is good, because I was starting to get a little worried. I realized that I only have 35 minutes left and I haven't saved this yet. So I am looking for, what am I looking for? I'm looking for field recordings, transients. Honestly, I usually do, but I try not to save until I have a track name, because it's very dumb of me to do that. How about this? How about we make our own little thump sound real quick? Because it's super easy, and we might as well just do it this way. Take the microphone, take my desk. And now we have thumps. Take my desk. Yeah. Boop. I do save. It's very reflexive that I save pretty often, but Ableton. Oh, that sucks, Luke. Is can you like recover it at all, or just like what happened? Is it just not load anymore? Oops, I don't want a compressor there. The plus side, Ableton is very good at recovering data, so you might not have lost as much as you think, but it still sucks. This does not have the thump that I want. Oh, your license is dead. That sucks. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. not a music theory, but a music pack. Yeah, I have my stethoscope microphone in my box of toys back there that I put together, but I never really actually used. So my plans are to make a audio pack out of Body Sounds. Makes it sound like it's going to be all farts, but just, you know, like the sound of brushing against skin and like a heartbeat. Creative Exploration, I could maybe do one about that, but it's more of a sound pack than anything else. I feel like this needs a little bit of swing. You're dreaming about me doing music theory this morning? That's cool. Doesn't need swing. Interesting. Yeah, and like certain tempos are easier to dance to, like 128 is a popular one because that's like an active heartbeat. Something like that. Danny, thank you so much for swinging by. You're never late. You're always on time. You're like a wizard. You're a wizard, Danny. We got there. Yeah, I hear you, man. Take care, Zal. Have fun doing groceries. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Deacon. Yeah, have fun eating some food. I'm kind of just copying and pasting stuff around now because I can. You leaving too dark? Or you just saying goodbye to everybody else? That was interesting. Oh, everything got transposed down. Yeah, that would cause problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, I got you, Dark. I kind of figured, but although that was very interesting that everything got transposed down. That's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Let's get rid of the melodica for the second half of this. Because it gets kind of busy in the middle here. I want it to be very sparse. Hey, finishing early is never a bad thing. Insert joke here about, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You made a happy elevator tune? Luke, I have. Now I have to find it. I have to find it just for you because I have time. SoundCloud abstraction. I think it's still on here. Here you go. Then it loops, but I like it a lot. Anyway. Well, they're over there, but they don't have batteries in them. It's okay. It's not that type of song. Okay, I think for this part, we can break our little rule a little bit here. No, he's always had it. For all you know, he gave it to you. So what we're doing here is we're kind of winding everything down. It's not going to be like a pure fade out for the music, but it's going to be something of a little bit of a fade out, which some people say is cheap. But I think, I mean, in a real video game, this would just loop back to the beginning, but oh, that's not going to work there. There we go. So yeah, in like the Patreon version of the looped version, it'll probably like get cut here and loop back to here, and then have that little main part play over and over, which is kind of cool. What is this for? I think I recorded. Okay, yeah, I recorded the table banging on that. See, look at that. No water sounds at all. This one's empty too. This actually reminds me of an unreleased song, I think, from a long, long time ago. Trying to think if there's anything else we can add here, like in this next section, just like some kind of subtle stuff. I don't know, but hey, if we finish early, then we can just chat about stuff for a little while. That's not too bad of a plan either. this will get, I guess it faded out. This just adds like another layer of... That's good. Water levels are supposed to be chill. So now I'm just adding random stuff because it's fun. Trying not to overburden the mix, because that's paramount. Oops. But it's always fun to just add a bunch of random stuff, see what sticks, and keep that around. Well, yeah, I would imagine that that certainly does not help the sleepiness quotient. Listen to after I've done a ton of work. Yeah. Yeah, this one I'm pretty pleased with overall. And like I've mentioned this before, but I go into all of these challenges slightly terrified that I'm not going to have any ideas about what to do. And sometimes those fears are confirmed when I spend, 20 minutes not doing anything. And sometimes things work out really well, like this song. This song worked out really well. So we got some sweet-ass pitch bends now. I don't know why it's not doing it correctly, but that should fix it. There we go. I want up an octave, and I want those over by a beat. Some songs, yeah. Back for a little bit. Haven't had a chance to say it yet. Hi, Danny. Welcome back. And Luke, that is actually one of the biggest problems that I've faced with this challenge, with the 2-hour track challenge. It's that I make like 3 songs in a row that I am super stoked about, and I love them so much. So when I get to that 4th song, I'm like, okay, I gotta make it better than these songs. And then that's setting the bar too high, and then I end up hating everything I make, and then the stream just goes to shit. I've finished all of the challenges, but there are definitely some songs that I love a lot more than others. So trying not to psych myself out actually is very hard. And thank you, Danny. I'm glad you like it. This was a fun one. Wasn't there a game all about achievement get? Wasn't there a game called Achievement Get, which is basically that whole thing where you basically the point of the game was to get achievements like turn left, turn right, get 10 achievements. I vaguely remember that being like a Newsgrounds thing. Oh, Danny, that's so kind of you. So yeah, let's listen to the whole thing. We're basically done at this point. We can work on kind of fixing it up a little bit. That's very true. Get a little heavy. Since we have time, let's work on this one. Drake, I hope not. I wanted to make this a little bit more dynamic. Man, I haven't played that game in forever. It's been a long time since I played that. There we go, that's better. It's a long reverb tail. But I like it. Cool. I think we're pretty much done with this. We got 6 whole minutes to spare. What are we going to do? Let's listen to the whole thing. This one actually turned out, it's only 3 minutes 20. It's really only like 3 minutes long, which I guess is kind of about the average length. But this one seems a lot more dense than some of the other ones that we've made lately, which is kind of cool. Turn down that a little bit. I like this one because it's more harmonically complicated than a lot of the other ones. Danny Joe, I do make a loopable version that is available to Patreon patrons. Yeah, so I do make a loopable version of every 2-hour track challenge. Still trying, Luke. Oh yeah. Yeah, most likely the loop points will be from here to here. Might even be from here to here. I don't know. Oops. Thank you, Dark. No, I hear you, man. The whole thing would probably work pretty well, too. In which case, you can just play the song on repeat. Beerus. Those are all excellent questions that I'll get to in 1 second. Ooh, that grace note is a little louder than I expected it to be. And also, and this might ruin the song for you, but I realized, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. I realized that about 5 minutes ago, and I feel really sad about myself now. I am actually kind of hungry. I'm not really sure what I'm doing for dinner tonight. Okay, Beerus, to answer your questions, because they're all very good. How do I do this? Actually, let me just have this playing in the background, -10. Since we got some time left. And really, I don't have anything going on after the challenge today. How do I do this? I have been writing music for 20 years. So part of this is just having the understanding of what I want to do, and thankfully the chat, everybody over here on my side, the chat is amazing, and there's been a lot of great suggestions for this song that really helped elevate it, especially when it comes to chord structure. So part of the reason how I did this is because I had other people's help, but also because I'm able to sit down and I have the experience necessary to hear something in my head and be able to translate that out onto actually let me listen to it on the regular. I have the experience to sit down and hear something in my head and understand how to actually translate that to the computer. And that's a skill that a lot of people don't really work on improving. And part of that is called ear training, basically, being able to hear something and understand the chord progression and the kind of the melody behind it. But beyond that, it's just partially learning the software, sitting down and understanding the software and knowing, like, okay, well, I want like this kind of super saw sound, but I want the cutoff to oscillate up and down to give like this kind of watery feel. And it's all kind of that knowledge of the technical aspects that reduce the friction between your mind, your hands, and your computer. That's really the big thing right there. How do I motivate myself? Doing these streams is a huge motivation. If I didn't do these streams, I probably would not be making as many songs as I do. Being on camera is incredibly useful because it keeps me focused. I'm not able to like, oh, well, let's just dick around on Twitter for 20 years instead of actually working on my music. So being able to sit down and actually converse with people and have a conversation about what's going on screen actually helps a ton. The motivation for that is super key. To be able to stay accountable. Staying accountable is so valuable because if you're not posting, if you're not letting people know that you're doing stuff, it's very easy to slack off and not do anything at all. And trust me, I've been there. Even during the Video Game Music Academy, yeah, Beerus, translating thoughts is actually, well, Luke, it just takes time. You'll get there. Yeah, Beerus, it's streaming actually helps me a lot. And during the Video Game Music Academy last month, did a daily challenge to write a song every day, which I'll be posting on YouTube eventually, because I actually recorded all of those sessions. I recorded all 31 sessions because I knew if I didn't record those sessions, I wouldn't do it. But knowing that if I miss a day, I will have a gap in my recorded sessions, and that's a huge loss for the challenge because I'm not accountable then. There's going to be a gap in there, and that gap will show that I slacked off for a day. And granted, some days are worse than others. Some days I sat down, dicked around on the piano for 15 minutes, and it's like, okay, that's good. Other days I had more time, and I invested that time. What was it? There's a story that Jerry Seinfeld has a calendar, and every day he made a joke. He wrote down a joke. He like created content, and then he put an X on that day. And as the calendar, yeah, Luke. As his calendar progressed, he got more and more X's on his calendar, and he didn't want to break that streak, and that's what he called it. He called it maintaining the streak, because you want to keep making things. You want to keep making X's on that calendar, because if you miss a day, you can't put an X down there, and then you have to start your streak over. And it's just either staying accountable online or offline. It's important to have that kind of regiment, and part of that regiment is learning that creativity is not a lightning bolt from the sky. It is something that you work on, that you work for. It's like going to the gym. It's like muscles. You can't just, well, you can, and a lot of people do. They just sit there and wait for inspiration, and that'll bite you in the ass 9 times out of 10, because that inspiration doesn't always come naturally, because you haven't really worked on that muscle. You haven't really figured out the best way of translating what you hear in your head to what you have on your computer, or what you put into your computer. And it's so important to understand that creativity is something that you do, that you have to mindfully do every day if you want to improve on it. Because like there's definitely been like the songs that I've made that are really good, and like I didn't really know how they were put together, and like it's like, oh, this song was really good, but I don't know how I made it. And that has become more and more frustrating over time because I want to learn how I made it because I want to know how to do it again, really. Think it cool. Two can share the throne, right? What are you guys talking about? Worst jokes in 2 hours? Oh, okay. You're on Skype for the past 7 years. Yeah, I get distracted very easily. Too easily, in fact. Like the Games Done Quick streams from Bocadillo. If you go to my YouTube channel, I actually have a series called Creative Exploration, which basically does exactly what I just talked about for the past 10 minutes. I basically explore various creative topics, and I love talking about this stuff. And honestly, I could probably Creative Exploration series. I could probably make a creative exploration off of that. And honestly, it's kind of a combination of a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Talk about. There's one called Use Your Hands, which is basically learning how to translate what you hear in your head to use your hands to actually make things. So you have to use your hands. You have to understand how to make things before you can make things. There was a couple other things I talked about in there. I'm probably just going to go back to the VOD and yeah, distraction is really bad for me. What I was talking about is like the Games Done Quick stream happened a couple weeks ago, and I have been watching so many recordings on YouTube of the Games Done Quick. I love watching speedruns. It's so fun. And when I watch speedruns, I'm not doing my work. And that's bad. And then when I am not doing that, there's other streamers that I watch. Insert Coin Theater is a big one. He's on Mixer. And then just there's so many distractions, and it's so easy to get distracted. And that's why I do these streams, because this is my work time. This is dedicated time to do work. And I feel like this time is valuable, so I don't waste it. And I really love the idea of being able to sit down with a bunch of cool people and talk about music and make a song together, because this song is as much as yours as it is mine. And it's so fun. Streaming is really fun. It definitely takes a while to get used to. If you go back and watch my first early streams, they're not cringy, but they're not that great either. And things have definitely gotten a lot better over the past year and a half. And yeah, like there's definitely a lot of stuff. There's a whole lot of info on that Trello sheet. That's more than the amount that would fit in my head. Well, I mean, I've talked about Trello before, but this is how I organize my work week. I have like the current work, the stuff that I have to do this week right here. The stuff that I've completed. I've had a really shit week, so I haven't really done a whole lot on this. But that's neither here nor there. And then these are all the creative exploration topics that I want to talk about at some point. If you wanted to look at this board, it is publicly available at trello.abstractionmusic.com. And you can actually go in here and vote on topics that you want to see. So I go in here on creative exploration topics, and I choose the one that has the most votes. There really aren't many votes on here right now. And then I do that one. I don't know if I'm going to do a creative exploration this week. I think I'm taking a week off from YouTube this week, honestly. I've been stressed out. Trello is an organizational tool that allows you, well, I was showing you. This is Trello. It's basically, it allows you to take things like right now, since I'm working on the 2-hour track challenge, I can put this here. So this is in progress. This is what I'm working on right now. Also, like I can use this for my color jumper dashboard. So this is like the list of bugs that I have to do. This is the stuff I want to do before Steam release. So this is all like the color jumper stuff that I want to do. I can leave notes in here. I can leave notes to myself and import images and stuff like that. Yeah. Either way, I think I am going to wrap up the stream because I want to get this up and out as soon as possible. Oh, Beerus, anytime, man. If you ever have more questions or you just want to chat, hit me up on Twitter. That's Ben_Burns. That's BURNES. or you can do this sometime. Or you can email me. It's abstraction@abstractionmusic.com. I think that's the link in my YouTube profile. Feel free to send me a message anytime. I'll do my best to respond to you. I love answering questions. I love helping people out. Yeah, Bocadillo. I completely agree. Yeah, Danny, and yeah, if anybody has questions about anything, like seriously, I'm always open to answer questions. I love answering questions. I love helping people out because we're all in this together, man. It's like being creative is so satisfying emotionally, mentally, everything like that. I want to help people as much as possible. It's the best therapy you can get, really, at least to me. After you're done with it, to force yourself enough. Beerus. I do go back to tracks, actually. I think before you came on the stream, I was talking about this album Creationism, which is takes a bunch of inspirational quotes talking about creativity and creating things. Half of the songs on here were originally 2-hour track challenges that I had gone back and repurposed into full songs. Let's see. Yeah, that was one. This was definitely one. I don't know how quiet it's going to be. So it's like I take the original 2-hour track challenge and then I expand on it, make it longer, and then I added the quotes, which came from the podcast Composer Quest, which is a fantastic podcast. It's not around anymore, unfortunately, but at the time...
And a writer and looking for somebody who brings everything to the table.
So I took, like, this is from Pat Pattison, and I took a bunch of inspirational quotes, I put them to music, and a lot of the music came from 2-hour track challenges initially, and I think that was super cool. So I do go back to tracks. I don't go back to them very often, but there are a lot of songs that I make during this series where I'm like, you know, this is super rad. I should really give this another shake and like try to expand it out, try to make it a more full song, because I'll admit more than anybody else that a lot of these songs are half finished because, you know, I've only worked on them for 2 hours. There's another person that does a similar challenge called 0 to 80%, which is basically he takes the song, or he writes a song in either 2 hours or 3 hours or however long it takes. I can't remember. And then it's basically from 0 to 80%. He does all of the legwork, all the heavy work. And then that last 20% is all like the touch-ups, the creative work, making things sound interesting in the little bits. This is very broad brush, I guess is the way to say it. Like you get a lot of the shapes and a lot of the stuff, but you don't always have a ton of details. So yeah. Oh right, I rendered that at -8 dB. That's gonna sound like bad. Oh, Luke. Why is there a 2-hour track challenge playlist with 2-hour stream videos, but not one with the final sounds? Luke, there is. I have a playlist of Content ID free music, and all of the tracks are in here. So if you wanted to listen to one of the old 2-hour track challenges, you can just... Oh yeah, let's watch a fucking Groupon video, Groupon ad. So yeah, like they're all here. Beerus, I generally use the stock VSTs with Ableton. I really actually love... Hey, look, I'm streaming right now. I actually really love the stock stuff in Ableton. It works very, very well. And yeah, generally I take presets and I tweak them to my liking. Sometimes I make stuff from scratch, especially with Massive, because again, I'm very familiar with Massive. I can hear what I want. Yes, Luke, you can use them in whatever you want. I prefer that you if you plan on making money off of these, like if you use them in a video with ads or something, I prefer that you subscribe to my Patreon, because that way you're kicking a little bit back my way. But I use Massive because I'm very familiar with it, so it's very easy for me to make sounds with it that I can start from scratch there. I don't make VSTs from scratch. I make the patches for those VSTs from scratch. I'm sorry if I was... Beerus FL Studio is amazing. I used it for 5 years. I actually wrote several albums through FL Studio before I moved to Ableton. I think that its suite of tools is very, very powerful, especially its MIDI controls. FL Studio has some of the best MIDI controls of any DAW out there. That's the one thing that I miss in Ableton, is the MIDI controls from FL Studio, because you can actually have multiple pitch bends and stuff in the same track on MIDI in FL Studio. It's so awesome. And the 3X OSC, the 3X oscillator, that comes with FL Studio is crazy powerful. It's something people used to dump on until Savant and some of the other larger artists took hold of it, and then people dig it. Put a text saying you wrote the music. Yeah, Luke, that's all. Otherwise, that's all I require. Just attribution saying, hey, Ben made this. This is where you can find him. That's 3X OSC hype. Would you recommend either Ableton or FL Studio? Beerus, it's really up to your personal workflow. If you wanted to try Ableton, they have a free trial, I think, for like 30 days or something. You just can't save the projects. Yeah. And I've never used Logic. I've heard that it's actually very good. But when it comes to FL Studio or Ableton, all DAWs, like FL Studio, Ableton, Bitwig, Logic, Reason, Reaper, all of those, they essentially do the same thing. They organize, they categorize MIDI and audio data in a way that you can process into music. That's all DAWs. They just have different workflows. So all you have to do is find a workflow that works for you, something that doesn't melt your computer when you try to run it, something that just allows you to, again, reduce friction between your brain and the computer. That's all you're trying to do. So if FL Studio, if FL Studio works for you, then you're good. That's all you need. But Renoise, yeah. There's a ton of DAWs. I mean, Famitracker's a DAW too. Yeah, Danny, I kind of agree with that. Like, not being able to save your projects really kind of limits what you can do in a demo. But I guess that's what people want. Make sure this loop's okay. Yeah, there's a myriad DAWs out there. Tedious assembly manipulation. Yeah, Beerus, anytime. Like, I am always happy to help. I will always answer questions if I am able to, because I think, again, that it's so important to help people out. There's no reason to treat any of this stuff like a competition, because it's not. There's no reason to treat any of this, I just said that, like a competition. There's like everybody's in this together. And that stupid note. Yeah, Famitracker is fun. Did you guys hear the sweet track I made in Famitracker for the 2-hour or the Video Game Music Academy one? I'm actually super proud of this one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. I actually really like this one. This one was super fun to make. I was going off of one of the challenges in the composition thing for like a short celebratory fanfare to play after the successful completion of a Quester battle. So that's what I made for that. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, and like I said, I did record the video of that. Serum Olafson. I don't own Serum, but I have heard very good things about it. And hi. Yeah, I really like having my 4K monitor, which honestly wasn't super expensive, but that's neither here nor there. Like having the 4K monitor is great, although it tends to make the streaming kind of suck a little bit with recording. So I apologize that everything's super flippin' tiny. Whoa, speaking of tiny. Yeah, like it's what was I talking about? Serum. I don't own Serum, but I've heard that it's very good. I would look into it more just for the ease of use more than anything else, because again, it's workflow based. Like Ableton's stock stuff is very powerful, and it can eventually get to the sound that Serum has. It just takes a lot more work. Serum is kind of the fast track for that. It sets a lot of that up for you, which is great. I'm not saying that that's cheating, because in that case, I cheat all the time because I use presets. I use all this other stuff because I want to get things done rather than dick around on certain things. Oh, Beerus. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed those. Well, I hope you enjoyed those. But thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that. I'm really glad that those are helping people out. There we go. Oh man, Jake Kaufman. Jake Kaufman is the bomb. I actually have his signature on my headphones with Disaster Piece. A long time ago, I got to meet those guys in person, and Disaster Piece and Jake Kaufman signed my headphones, which is the other reason why I don't want to get rid of these headphones, because they have like the signatures from the two do we get a Dancing Ben with studio lights? No, nobody subscribed. Nobody followed the channel, man. Two of my biggest heroes, if you want to call it that, signed those headphones, and I don't want to get rid of them ever. Oops. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of prepping this for distribution on Patreon and elsewhere. So I'm down for just chatting if people just want to chat. I'm just kind of doing the busy work post-stream thing. Yeah, but Jay Kaufman is like one of those guys where I watch his stuff and I just get like super jealous of both his skill and his throughput. Like he's been a super huge inspiration. Some Google accounts, yeah. There's actually a big bot purge recently for YouTube accounts. But yeah, like I love their work, and it's very intimidating. And I think I talked about this last time with Andrew Wong. I absolutely love Andrew Wong's work. He does such amazing work, but he is so intimidating to watch. Oh, I can't upload these because it'll kill my stream. I'll upload them later. Yeah, but Disaster Piece and Jake Kaufman both have huge libraries. Like they just crank stuff out. Oh, there we go. There's the dance. I owe you a little bit of piano, man. Although this piano is going to have a bunch of effects on it, but maybe that'll make it sound cooler. PS2. I think I've played Riga. Yeah, Beerus. I agree. He's worked on so many things. It's very, very intimidating to Rygar. Yeah, it's very intimidating to be even like close to what he does. Like it's crazy how much work he puts out. Same with Disaster Piece. Although I think Disaster Piece is working less on game music lately. He's been doing his own solo projects. was going with that. You can, but I won't view it until after the stream. Thank you for asking beforehand, though. Well, Danny, I mean, I use this Akai Professional. I've showed this before, but I use this this Akai Professional MPK 249. I love it. The keys feel all right. They take a little bit of getting used to. They're not like super weighted. I believe they are. Yeah, they are sprung keys, but they're great. I used the MPK Mini before that, which had tiny little keys, which worked well once you got used to them. Super pads. What are super pads? Oops. Launchpad app. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've heard of those. I definitely want to get more into like hardware stuff, and I don't have a ton of hardware right now. I have my pocket operators, which I love, but yeah, microphone's in the way. How about this? I used to play this all the time when I was a kid. I probably drove my parents crazy. It's weird how iconic these songs are, but how simple the chord progressions and stuff are. Yeah. Music is the best. Yeah. It most definitely is. I don't even remember who followed, but thank you so much for following. I looked through the chat again. Yeah. So I got distracted by like 3 different tangents on my piano next to me. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. I wish I knew more piano songs. Yeah, Zelgrith, I am just kind of chilling out now. The stream is done. People are just asking questions. I've been hanging out, and it's been a good time. I've been having a good time. So yeah, I don't know. Does anybody else have questions about anything? Want to talk about Famitracker or music or creativity or whatever? 261. Minda's Lament. Is that the song? Is that the name of the song? I can't remember now. I thought it was just the Final Fantasy theme. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to actually I know what I can do. I can work on the video for this. I definitely want to get back into we've gotten to try OpenMPT only a little bit, not a lot. It's definitely something I haven't had time for, which sucks. But like I said, this past like month and a half, Oh, sorry. Whatever. I say what I want. Yeah, Final Fantasy. Midna. Hey, okay. There's a lot going on right now. Which website did you get your life? Just get older. It just takes time. I am 36. So I've been around for a while. And that's just how it is, really. Is this song apart from season 1 of Abstraction? No, how not to play. This is actually, we're on season 4 of the 2-hour track challenge. Seasons 1, 2, and 3. I can actually show you. I created, it was a 2-hour track challenge, yeah. Inside the 2-hour track challenge playlist, I have, this is season 1 is the orange, and then this dark blue is season 2. Season 3 is the green, and then we're into this kind of purpley for season 4. So this is episode 5 of season 4. Minnesota accent, yeah. Yeah, I have been writing music since like 1998 or so. It's definitely been a while. Hey, let's just put on this content ID free playlist right here, and then just have that playing in the background. Although I'll get ads, so that's kind of shitty, but whatever. Actually, no. Let's just jam and talk and have this in the background, because that's better. Sorry, I'm kind of waffly today. Well, yeah, I know. I'm an old man. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I mean, like, I can't say that it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, I've practiced every day since I was 14, and that's how you get this good. It's like, no, like, there was a good probably 6-year lapse where I didn't make music at all between, I would say, being 26 and 32. It stemmed from being in a really bad relationship that she did not want me to divert my attention to creative things, so I didn't, and I realized that was a very toxic relationship, and eventually that ended. So I have watched some of 8-Bit Music Theory, not all of it. That guy is way smarter than me. MPK Minute, yeah. MPK minis are fun. Farts count as music? They can, depending on the context you use them in. Come on. It films sometimes a bunch of garbage. Oh, okay, it's selecting 2, that's why. So this was called Into the Void. Into the Void. Yeah, 8-Bit Music Theory, that guy... And that's like something that I'd love to do, to be able to have the knowledge to break apart Rick Beto. The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I'm familiar with him. To be able to break apart a song into like the structure and the theory behind it. The butt. Yep. It's the only instrument I know how to master, the butt. So I need to find an image for this. I don't know if I have a whole lot of like underwater pictures. Luke, I agree and I disagree with that. 8-Bit is limited, but it's limited in a way that is creatively enabling. There are other abstraction song seasons on your Bandcamp. How Not to Play, the 2-hour track challenge is actually exclusive to my Patreon patrons for a year, which is why seasons 2 and 3 aren't up on my Bandcamp yet. If you subscribe to my Patreon for like $1, it's $1 a month minimum, then you would get access to all the 2-hour track challenges and additional goodies as well. So that's kind of the trade-off. Like, I want to have like exclusivity with my Patreon, but I also want to share it with everybody eventually. So I have it available have all the 2 Hour Track Challenge stuff available for a year. 2 Hour Tracks is what you do every day, right? No, God, no. I do this once a week. This stream is every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time is when I sit down. You're stuck on instruments. I don't do this every day. I would go crazy. When I started the 2 Hour Track Challenge, I did it twice a week. I did it on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. And that got very, very exhausting. There are probably some people who do that, but I don't know how they survive. Like, I need to take creative breaks, and I can't do that. And completely unrelated, probably not relevant to most people watching. Note: what are you planning on showcasing at Playtest tomorrow? I am playtesting Color Jumper. I can show you the final boss of Color Jumper. Oh yeah, Danny, back away slowly. That's the only solution. I need to find a picture of water. Oops. So if you wanted to see the final boss of Color Jumper, I don't know if I'll be able to beat it, but I'll try. So this is Color Jumper. This is the game I'm working on. This boss is a big old pain in the butt. Shit. So yeah, he's a big old pain. And Color Jumper is a platformer that will be coming out in a couple months, hopefully. I made a bunch of really tough levels over the past couple days for the final boss fight build-up. And yeah, this one I'm going to redo. This one's too clunky. But there are a couple really fun ones in here. So yes, I'll be showcasing Color Jumper, whoa, which I almost knocked over my drink. You can play Color Jumper, or the demo of it, right now, if you're interested. So I need to find a picture of water. Duluth Pictures. Duluth. There we go. Into the void. Does that look like the void? No. Hoops. 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 Bocodillo, I do. I'm actually an application developer for my day job. Oops, I did not want to open the raw file. So yeah, I do have a background in programming. When I was very little, I used to make games in QBasic, which also dates me and shows everybody how old I am. Come on, Photoshop, I didn't even want to open you. This is actually a really good picture for Into the Void. Let's mess with this. Let's make that really dark. I'm blowing out the colors, and that's okay. I don't care. No, my background is I used to make I used to program when I was a kid, and then I got into web design, and then I went to college for visual communication. 1920 by 1080 then. So I have a little bit of everything, and then I did music on the side. Yeah, cloud effect at the edge. I was gonna do a little vignette thing. Oops. So yeah, I have a knowledge of a little bit of everything, which I think works well for this, because especially being creative in this kind of industry right now, you can get infinite high fives, Luke. That is a service that I will provide to you because I think that it's important. High fives are important. Favorite coding language. I have been learning C# when it comes to Unity, and I actually like C# a lot. I think that it's a good language, and it has a lot of potential for customization. It's not perfect, but it's definitely pretty good. Yeah, like the best way to do that is just to start making a game in Unity, really. Oops. Come on, Photoshop. Stop being a big old floppy dick. There we go. Yeah, it's very, very good for Unity. Void background. If that background noise gets annoying, let me know. Where did that save? Photoshop? Why are you doing me like this? Patreon cards. Get out of there. New Long's an opening level, one of those featured indie 2-day Sky. Yeah. Oh, Beerus, I like that. I like the sound of that. So many coding languages out there, I don't know where to start. Honestly, Danny Joe, if you have like a light background in web design or web development, JavaScript is a good place to start. Some people dump on JavaScript for being kind of crappy, and to some degree it is, but honestly, I really like JavaScript just for what it can do, and like the immediate response that you get when you work on stuff. And yes, online tutorials are your absolute best friend when streaming or starting game development. I use tutorials and guides, and I Google things all the time. Google is by far your best friend when it comes to that. So now I'm just chilling out. It's not much of a music stream anymore, I guess. I apologize. But now we're just kind of hanging out. Yeah, HTML5 is actually a better thing. jQuery is like an extension of JavaScript, and I think that jQuery is also a very good a method of learning programming, because it has like the interrelationship between objects and code and time, because understanding things over time is very important as well. Like, code doesn't just execute all at once and then it's done. Like, sometimes you have to wait, sometimes you have to wait for triggers, and like that's the biggest part about coding a game, is because there's so many inputs that you have to manage. It's difficult. And your lovely face. Well, your face is lovely too, Danny Joe. Thumbs up. So, yeah. Audio waveform. Ooh, excuse me. So that's our audio waveform. Take care, Luke. Thanks for swinging by again. Yeah, I've heard Ruby is very good as well. I've never used Ruby, but I know a couple people who have, and it seems very, very accessible, which is good. So now we have waveform. Which is neat. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this one yet, honestly. I try to make all these like little video visualizations unique, but you know, sometimes I just don't have the time. Oh, M, that is actually, I stole that from Patreon. Their announcement had that video. Rebrand announcement. I can't remember where it was now. They had like a rebrand announcement, and they had a little GIF. Or GIF, or GIF, if you wanted to use those, of that. And I actually went into that that file and keyed out the background, which is why you get this. And I love it, and I use it all the time. Take care, Drake. Thank you so much for swinging by. Patreon is all grown up. Yeah. Yeah, it's made with Java. I'm talking about GIFs still. It was Bocadillo. Yes, I love it. It's very, very nice. I like that better than the default Chrome thing. Oops, that's way too dark. This is called Blizzard Blitz, Beerus. Let me see if I can find it in here. I think it's in here. There it is. Here you go. Yeah, Drake, anytime. I'm glad you were able to swing by, man. I think I'm just going to leave this as, like, very bright white. Yeah, I like how this song turned out. Oh, thank you, Danny. Yeah, so I took that animation and I keyed out all of the background, all the background of each frame. Well, Beerus, I think in the video description for that there is the 2-hour track challenge recording. So if you wanted to view the recording of me making that song, you're welcome to. Hoost, thank you so much for swinging by and saying that. I'm glad that you use it. It makes me very happy that people are using the tunes, man. Beerus, if you ever have questions about anything that I do, you are welcome to send me a message. I would be more than happy to talk to you and help you better understand how to make things, because making things is important. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to create a mask of like the watery area so I can put a ripple effect on it. I've done this in a couple other videos. It's a little cheap, but it does the job in this case. Okay, so we have masked this out like that. So now we can add an effect to it. Ripple. Pond ripple, I think. No, it's more like a wave, I guess. Waves, distortion, here we go. It's like a phase speed of 2, might be too fast. Oh yeah, the Discord. Discord. Thank you. I honestly have not seen a whole lot of DBZ, Beerus. So I can't really say much, which isn't to say that it's bad, it's just that I'm not familiar with it. There we go. So now we got kind of a little wavy water thing there. So now the rocks stay still, but the water ripples. And that's not that I actually really do like anime. I just have not watched a lot of it. Like I finally watched Revenge on Titan like a year ago because it was on Netflix, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good overall. I just don't get around to watching anime that much. I was tapped out. Attack on Titan. I'm sorry. Listen, my brain's fried, man. I've said that 1,000 times. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Just like May. That's May's my favorite character in Overwatch because of that one audio cue. Because it's very Minnesotan. Sorry. It's the only thing I've ever paid Earth dollars in Overwatch. It's for that audio cue. So this effect is kind of boring right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to duplicate it and then raise the height. Oh no, it's not going to work like that. I have to duplicate the layer and then raise the height. I'm going to save this because when you start doing stuff like this... Oh, Zal, I played Overwatch a long time ago. I don't really play it right now. I was good at Overwatch for like a minute, and then I got bad at it again. I really like playing May, just because she is a long-range character who has relatively powerful snipe abilities if you know how to time her icicle. And she can be a real pain in the dick to anybody who wants to get close to you. Oops, flip. Okay, so what does this look like? Let's do Phil. Nah, Phil sucks. Cool. Okay, well we got our video. I don't want to make these super complicated, but I like making little custom things. The channel Red Means Recording, if those who are familiar with that, the YouTube channel Red Means Recording, he does such a great flippin' job doing his video editing and stuff, and I aspire to do stuff like that. Hoost, I am multi-streaming. I use restream.io, so I'm streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Periscope right now, and Periscope's just so I can post the stream directly into Twitter. So I am streaming to both YouTube and Twitch right now, which is why you're seeing posts from YouTube. The one last thing I'm going to do with this before I finish it off is I'm going to change the opacity to like 80. It's a little bright. No mixer. I am using Restream Chat. So I'm using this guy right here, which allows me to see whether or not it's coming from YouTube or Twitch. And Restream Chat reposts everything to the appropriate things. As far as Mixer is concerned, I honestly might try it again at some point, but Mixer requires so much community effort that I have a problem maintaining a mixer presence, just because there are so many there's so many people out there that requires the wrong word. If you're well ingrained in the community and Mixer, you can do very, very well for yourself. My buddy Tim from Insert Coin Theater is doing very well for himself because he's able to check out other streamers, check out other streams, host, and like do all this other great stuff for other people. But I unfortunately, and it sounds shitty, but I just don't have the time. Like, I'd love to. Oh god, those colors are garish. And like being a community leader like that takes a ton of time, and I'm just busy doing so many other things. So as much as I'd love to do it, I just can't. And maybe that's a cop-out, but it's just how it is. Yeah, Hoost, if you ever have questions about multi-streaming, don't hesitate to ask. I'd be more than happy to answer anything you need with that. Keep a consistent stream, not worry about it too much. Yeah, and Danny, that's exactly what it was. Like, my buddy Tim from Insert Coin Theater, he started going to Mixer, And it's like, oh, well, hell, I'll try it too. And he did very well at it because he was very community focused, and he went out to other people's streams and hung out and conversed with people, and, you know, got a lot of talking going on, have people visit his streams, and he's such a great streamer that he was able to build a huge community. He actually has 6,000 followers now. He just hit 100,000 views last night. I was over there. I'm a mod on his channel, so I help him out still. And like, he's a super cool dude. But yeah, Danny, you're exactly right. Where it's just like, if people like the content I'm making, they'll come to me, and if not, they'll watch it on YouTube. Like, I post everything on YouTube, which is why I multi-stream, because as much as I love Twitch is amazing. The fact that I'm pushing everything to YouTube, and my YouTube community is really great too. I know that that's a little more Famine Tracker focused, but you know, that's okay. But yeah, Insert Coin Theater is doing very well for himself. I'm very glad that he's getting where he is, and he just keeps growing. He's actually on the main dashboard, because Mixer is owned by Microsoft now. He's on the Xbox dashboard like once a week now. So when you go to whatever tab it is for streaming, he's there, and he gets like 100 concurrent viewers at a time. He was playing Pokemon last night. He got up to like 140 viewers, which is crazy. I don't know what I would do at that point. I would probably explode. So I'm just rendering this out right now. At some point, I'm going to have to end the stream, though. I got to get some food. I got to see if my wife texted me, actually. Never mind, she just walked in the door. So, yeah, I think I am going to end the stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. Hey, sweetie. And, yeah, so I'm going to get this video posted to YouTube, and we'll get everything up on Patreon, and then we'll be all set. So, again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. We made a cool song, and we hung out for an extra hour because we could. And that's all I got for today. So I hope you all have a great day, and and that yeah, thank you guys. You guys have a great day, and I will see you either on Saturday, or maybe I'll try to stream again at some point later, because streaming is so much fun. It is a lot of fun, especially when I get to chat with people. So yeah, that's all I got. Guys, take care, have a great day, and I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.